Red and blue strobes flickered across the pavement, bouncing off the windshield of the car I had just pulled over. A routine stop, speeding, nothing more. At least, that's what I thought until I saw who was in the driver's seat. My wife. Her hands gripped the steering wheel, so tightly her knuckles had gone white. Sitting beside her was a man I'd never laid eyes on. He didn't flinch, didn't even blink, just sat there with a smile that felt completely out of place. "License and registration," I said, keeping my tone flat, professional. She fumbled with her purse, her fingers shaking. The man beside her slowly turned his head toward me, as if he'd been expecting this moment. That's when my partner came up. One glance inside the car, and everything shifted. He yanked out his weapon, aiming straight at the man's chest. "Step back," he barked. The stranger laughed, a low, deliberate sound. "You're too late," he said. I didn't understand. "Not yet." Then my wife leaned forward, and that's when I saw them. Bruises. Old ones. Layered. Hidden until now. Something inside me went still. I should have spoken, should have demanded answers, but the silence in that car was heavier than any scream. She never once looked at me. Her eyes stayed glued to the dashboard, as if meeting my gaze would set her on fire. And him, he just sat there, smug, like the night had been scripted by him alone. Later, after the car was towed and we were standing in the dark parking lot with nothing but questions, I replayed every detail. The way she recoiled when his hand brushed against hers. The way her lips parted, but no words came out. She hadn't been speeding. She had been running. And I had been too blind to see it until that moment. The betrayal wasn't some simple affair. It was darker. Twisted. She hadn't just let him into her life. He had marked her where I was supposed to protect her. I didn't confront her that night. Not directly. Instead, I went home, sat in the silence of our bedroom, and touched the side of the bed she no longer claimed. Then I began pulling at the threads. Phone records. Credit card charges. Nights away. A second phone. Every breadcrumb led back to him, a man with no real name, no steady address, but a past hidden in sealed files. Violence. Extortion. Recruitment. She hadn't fallen for him. She had fallen into his trap, but the part that cut the deepest wasn't her weakness. It was her choice. When she realized what he was, she didn't run to me. She didn't trust me. She let him own her. Her silence betrayed me more than her body ever could. 2 weeks later, the file landed on my desk. Every detail laid out. Photos, witness statements, undeniable evidence. He wasn't new to this. He built a life on it. He turned women into shields, into weapons, into empty shells of who they once were. And now, my wife was one of them. I didn't ask if it was true. I didn't give her the chance to lie. I simply placed the file on the kitchen table. Her eyes dropped to the pictures, the documents, the proof. Her lips trembled, and one word slipped out, barely audible. "Please." That was it. No denial. No explanation. I said nothing. Just leaned back and watched the truth crush her. The next morning, I took the file to Internal Affairs. Not against her, against him. Names, networks, evidence tying him to buried cases. He wasn't just her mistake. He was a cancer eating through the system I had sworn to defend. She knew I had the power to end him. When she begged me not to, when her trembling fingers reached for mine, the same hands that had once held me with love, I didn't move. I just looked at her, steady, detached. "You chose him," I said. And with that, I walked away. They took him in 3 nights later. I didn't attend the trial. I didn't need to. By then, his smirk would be gone, replaced with the empty stare of a man who had finally run out of masks. As for her, she left before sunrise one morning. Just a suitcase. No note. No apology. The bed is cold now. The silence heavier. But it's a silence I can live with. Because betrayal doesn't always scream. It doesn't rage. It sits beside you quietly until one day, you finally see the bruises. And once you see them, you can never unsee them again.